You can tell me all about it because I know what you went and did last night. There's nothing that, I shouldn't be hurt about it in any type of way, shape, or form or fashion because I know what you did last night. I could be planning on going out to do the same thing later on tonight. I might have did the same thing last night or whatever. And, that's what an open relationship is all about, being able to do those things and being able to openly talk about them with your partner and y'all being able to be comfortable with that. Otherwise, it's just you trying to have the best of both worlds.
But that is what an open relationship is. It is the best of it. It is literally having your cake and eating it too.
It's mutual on both ends. Nobody should ever feel slighted in any type of way because you already know what.
Yeah, I'm saying if you get to that point and you agree to it, but I'm saying my opinion of an open relationship
brings it up. And another person feels like they love the person so much they have to go into it. Like that's what I see a lot. I don't see a lot of like two people just like, what's up, Cleo?
What question?
It's not that much.
Can you love more than one
obviously,
person?
obviously that person.
You can have sex without being in love with a person, though.
If you feel like, I'm sorry.
Love, and just like, can't you love more? Can you love more than one person? Just take the sex out of that. Like you can have open relationship with somebody and not have sex with them. Like say you and your boyfriend have sex, but somebody else, they are just you like being around them. Like they, when you going through something, there's someone who you turn to.
But that's a friend.
But it's like a deeper connection, like separate from the other friend.
If somebody wants to have an open relationship and the other person isn't feeling it or whatever, then that's when that person needs to evaluate whether or not they need to be in that relationship or not, because obviously that person is fixated on other things other than them. You shouldn't get into an open relationship just because you feel like you love this person so much and and you just have to do it, because otherwise you're always going to feel slighted because you're in a relationship by yourself. That person is in a relationship with you and the rest of the world. You're in a relationship by yourself, so you need to figure out what it is that you want for yourself and stop following behind other people.
But sex does not, sex does not mean that you're in love with that person because you have sex with that person. So if you look at it, as if sex is,
like I said though,
and if you look at it as sex,
for some people, like
you said it should.
See,
why shouldn't? Why shouldn't?
Things would be a lot less complicated.
Why should it? Because okay, the reason why I ask that is because a lot of times people say, and I've heard somebody wrote a book about how monogamy and stuff was basically made up by people to entrap people. Now I gotta get the name of the book and stuff later.
And it was somebody.
And like the Bible says,
words up because they're lazy and don't want to put work into a relationship.
Okay, but like the Bible says,
I think a lot of stuff is myths.
Think about how much drama and how much trouble.
But if you open and honest with somebody, and if everybody's open and honest,
but everybody isn't. That's what I'm saying. Think about how much drama and stuff just comes from who messed with who.
But you can have all that drama in a closed relationship and not doing that stuff. You can have drama in anything that you do in life. So why should that stop you?
This is my problem with open relationships. I think, just like Jerry was saying, it can create a huge problem. Why? Because yes, y'all agreed to have an open relationship, and then we have the fact that sex is hormonal. Now, biblically, as you was talking about, biblically, sex was really supposed to be for two married people,
right? To
procreate, and for them to enjoy the pleasures of intimacy and passion that they have for themselves. But again, biblically, is considered to be only confined to married people. So, if it's outside of marriage, it's called fornication.
Let me tell you what the problem is. Open relationships are meant for adults, and most people at our age aren't mentally and emotionally complete enough to be in an open relationship or even know what they want at that point. Half of us don't even know what we want for ourselves in one relationship. So to be in a relationship, to be in an open relationship is like it's like putting your whole your love into a Where's Waldo puzzle and just just
here's another issue I have with the open relationship though. For certain people, when you do have when you are intimate with them and stuff like that, you can easily catch feelings and have other emotions towards them that aren't just a physical thing. When it's just like inviting, like we talked about it last time, when you invite certain things into your relationship, you have no idea, you have no control over what's going to happen.
Most people who get into an open relationship think of sex as an activity and not based off of love, and that's why they can go and be in love with one person and have sex with other multiple people. So therefore, in most open relationship cases, you will not catch feelings for that person unless you connect on them on a level outside of sex.
If you're in an open relationship, y'all mutually agree to be in an open relationship. So
but I'm saying, the need to want to be in a relationship to me is a selfish reason.
When you get into a relationship, I believe that you become you become selfless when you're in a relationship.
It's the same reason as just everybody else getting in a relationship. They want another person, to come home to, somebody to talk to, and go out and do things with.
Get a roommate.
Again, I think that when you get into a relationship,
and that's the case, you could tell, any person, you could tell any man or woman or whoever to, go get a roommate, because it's just like the natural thing, though.
I think when you get into a relationship, I don't believe in open relationship. It's either monogamous or it isn't. So when you get into a relationship, it's like two becoming one. So you become selfless rather than selfish. So whatever that person wants or needs or desires, you should be able to fulfill that. And if you can't, then you have to you and that person have to go at the discussion table and figure out whether or not y'all need a relationship. Now, this is my thing about the whole open relationship that disturbs me. Okay, if you having sex with all these people based on your hormones and not having self-control, the problem that I find that's gonna eventually occur is that you're gonna start to have feelings for somebody. That's predicated on
that's
not just the sex, but the relationship that you have with that person, especially if it's a recurring thing with that person.
Yeah, that to me would
end
up looking fishy.
It's not definite.
Most people who are in open relationships don't have recurrent sex with the
same person,
the same partners, and that's the mature people who know what they're doing. And then and as far as you was just saying about it being like a selfish or selfish thing. It's not always just about sex. We could be we going out on dates, 10 and 12 times, in a week or whatever. I could be paying your tuition in school, bringing you flowers, candies, diamonds every day, whatever, and you doing the same thing, vice versa. That's the nature of our relationship. That's how much we love each other, and we have an open relationship. I actually know somebody who's in a relationship like that. They're that deep into each other, but they have an open relationship as the way they can go out and have sex with other people, and it's still nothing that can break those two apart.
Because they trust each other.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, once you go out and step outside the relationship, you already are breaking yourself up. Obviously, there is something that can break them up, and it's sex.
Because the sex not gonna break you up, because you wanna have sex with that person, your partner already knows. If you can't have sex with that person, you can't have sex with your partner. You can go have sex with somebody else. It's sex out there everywhere. So
let me ask you this: say between the two of them, it hits a point where one or the other says, "Okay, I don't like this anymore." Would they stop, or would they dump the person?
I don't know, because I'm not in a relationship.
Because then if he says, well, then I'm out, then he is choosing sex over his partner.
Right, but the people I've known, they've been in a relationship for years, so I really don't see that happening. I see if one didn't want to have an open relationship anymore, the other one will follow, or the other one might be comfortable with just the other one being the only person that's open. But
I agree with Snook. I think you have to be really, really mature to deal with open relationships.
You have
and think outside the box extremely.
And the problem with most relationships these days is people don't know how to communicate with each other, talk about their feelings and stuff that's going on. So that's why the normal relationships don't last and don't go nowhere. To be in an open relationship, you have to be kind of sort of almost a little bit extra in your communications, your awareness of the other person, and your selfish and selflessness. So.
Love that.
When did people become sex toys? Really?
Not necessarily. No, not sex, but just I would be in a relationship with them too. I'm in a relationship with you. You're in a relationship with them.
Let's call Jacob
and I'm in a relationship with them.
Yeah, that was my next question. What's your views on polyamory?